Absolutely. We'll see you out there, Andrew, and any news that comes through today, we'll bring you up to date as well. Appreciate all of the help back at RSN, especially yesterday when it was a bit of a bumpy ride. Today was a lot smoother, which is great. We've enjoyed bringing you all of the news from Hong Kong. Don't go anywhere, though, because it's a massive weekend of greyhound racing. Coming up next, it is the grey areas, and I'll be back on Tuesday. We fly in on Monday, and tomorrow you'll get all of the good oil and the mail on RSN for Ballarat Cup Day, and then Sunday, Sha Tin and the Aussies. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you soon.
RSN Racing and Sport continues to broadcast the very best in Victorian thoroughbred racing.
Ready and racing.
Saturday, the action goes to Ballarat for the $500,000 Cup.
Captain Envious, 2 legs, 3 legs coming clear. Captain Envious won the Ballarat Cup from Young Verdant.
Also at Ballarat, there's the Vobis Gold Eureka Stockade and the Emerging Stars Final, carrying $250,000 in prize money. Ballarat Cup morning, the first word kicks it off at 7, form preview at 8, and get on now from 10. Saturday, Ballarat Cup Day is on RSN Racing and Sport. The Southern Hemisphere's best yearlings at Australia's holiday playground. The 2025 Magic Millions Gold Coast Yearling Sale, January 7 to 13. The Gold Coast Yearling Sale not only leads the way for individual Group 1 winners sold since 2019, more than double any other Australian yearling sale. They've also won 3 times more Group 1s. With recent graduates including Spring Stars, Private Life, Southport Tycoon, Steffi Magnetica and Knight's Choice, it's the sale with more opportunities to find more champions. See the catalogue at magicmillions.com.au.
Tasmania is the perfect place to race this summer. Across all 3 codes, the Ladbrokes Summer Racing Festival provides weekly feature racing, and tasracing.com.au has everything you need to help find the winners. With detailed form guides, the latest news, and of course, hosted racing coverage on Tas Racing Live. Enjoy everything that Tas Racing has to offer this summer.
Ashy Boy's in front. It's yours, Steve-O. Ashy Boy wins the cup and Froggy makes it 8.
The views are better and the air is cleaner down in Tassie. The perfect place to race this summer.
Need a business loan fast? On Deck have business loans ranging from 10K to 250K that can be funded the same business day. With On Deck, approvals and funding are lightning fast, so you can focus on growing your business. Don't let slow funding hold you back or keep you up at night. On Deck, lightning loans for small businesses. Visit ondeck.com.au and spark your success. Apply today. Business loan approvals are possible within hours. T's and C's apply. All loans are subject to lender approval.
On RSN Racing and Sport, it's time for the grey areas with Jason Adams and George Ferrugia.
That kid was a human dynamo.
Are you sure you're talking about George?
George of the jungle, friend to you and me.
And good afternoon, everyone. As we get into the grey areas today, George Ferrugia joins me in the studio, and he is flying solo today. Jason Adams is a late scratching
behind the barriers, mate. But
on vets.
On vets. Look, he's one of the hardest working guys in greyhound racing, so we're going to let him do this. He was very discreet about why he took the day off, though.
Yeah.
So we hope Jace is all good. I'm sure he's enjoying himself somewhere. But we'll see him back next Wednesday, mate. So flying solo, but we've got a big show. And
you're going to start by you've got a guest coming up after the race at Healesville. There is a race, folks, in about 3 minutes at Healesville with James Vandermaat, and that is the first leg of the Quaddie Race 5. But you're going to have a look at the Phoenix before we go to James.
Yeah, look, obviously the guest you speak of is Steve Shinners. Obviously, the greyhound world is a buzz at the moment with Miss Envy breaking the 29-second barrier at Sandown. But we'll get into that after the Healesville race as we kick on. But look, the Phoenix is now down to one slot holder, John, that needs to pick their greyhound, and that's Total Container Solutions, who have not officially picked yet. I'm sure that they would be getting closer to a decision. But last time we were on air, Ladbrokes hadn't made a decision. They have now, John. Schillaci, who represented them last year and won the race as the rank outsider, will represent Ladbrokes again. And it's an interesting story again, because he's a greyhound that probably about a month or 2 months ago, John, didn't look like he was going to be in contention. He probably wasn't going well enough. But he's winning the Melbourne Cup heat, and then to almost lead that Melbourne Cup field where he went 4.98 early probably was enough for Ladbrokes to say, you know what, let's get the champ a chance to defend his title. So he is locked in for Ladbrokes. And last night we had the running of the Queensland Flame. Obviously, they go through a race series to choose which greyhound gets through. And there is one that got through for Tom Savalas, who has had the most unbelievable time of it lately. This year he's had the best time. He's won so many great races, John, and he just capped it off. And I think it's fitting that his greyhound, Dacey's Rory, got through. Beat a really good field as well, including J is J. That greyhound, I think, will be trialling at the Meadows on Wednesday, so Tom not wasting any time. As I said, he's had probably a career best year as a trainer. So Dacey's Rory will go around next Wednesday. Might even have 2 looks before the Phoenix. There's a couple of weeks to go, obviously, December 21. So looking forward to that. We'll talk a little bit more about the Phoenix after this race at Healesville.
If you'd like to send George Farrugia a text this morning or this afternoon, it is 0416 90 50 52. 0416 90 50 52. And he'll bring in his guest Steve shortly after this race at Healesville. It's the 5th with James Vandermart. He went the Blue Dog here, 4, 2, 5 and 6.
So they're at the starting point now. We're right on starting time. This is the running of race 5. Key to the race could be down the bottom. Number 6, Elsie Dreaming. She does come out and goes hard left. She wants the rail. Reserve gets a run and draws outside of her. So Rock the Margin, definitely a chance with the way the draw is played out. It's set to run now. Green light turned on. Favoured is the Reserve. And they're racing, and Rock the Margin jumped quickly. Well, Elsie Dreaming's missed the kick, and Rock the Margin didn't have much acceleration, so Get a Grip fired out to lead a Special Digger, then Choji Akamichi, and they're a minute clear to Mighty Hercules, Sipping Paddy, Rock the Margin, Aston Allure and Elsie Dreaming at the end. It's Get a Grip, the leader, still a length to Choji Akamichi, and Get a Grip's going to run them ragged all of the way. Get a Grip by a length and a half, downing Choji Akamichi, a Special Digger, then Mighty Hercules, a minute back to Aston Allure, back with Zipping Paddy, Rock the Margin. Well, he didn't fire at all today. He was back toward the tail of the field with Elsie Dreaming, who didn't fire either. The run around 19:37. There was 3 greyhounds that looked like they were running on top of the sand, and the others looked like they were running in sinking sand. It was a strange old race, but Get a Grip has come out on top. Has been too quick for Choji Akamichi, who runs a good race getting through the pack. He does seem to love it here. Third goes to number 1. Won the red, a Special Digger up for third for Elise Knott. They were the 3 that got out fast, and although they probably weren't the first 3 away, they were the 3 that just put such a gap on the rest of the field who didn't really come together. They just couldn't go with, and as it turns out, Get a Grip, number 5, who looked probably the most awkward drawn, has come out on top, a clear winner. Numbers interim, 5218, 5218, 1939, amended to 1930.
So 5, 2, 1 and 8, James, I've got those. Allow me to clear those, and then we'll get back to George. Number 5, Get a Grip at $3.90 and $1.50 beats number 2, Koji Amici at $1.04. 1 a Special Digger, $5.70 and 8 Mighty Hercules. The Quinella $6, Exact and 19. Trifecta paid 110 in the first 4, 5, 2, 1 and 8, $619. So you need the 5 to kick you off in the quaddie, and the running double is a small jackpot, 6 and 5 of $4. James tipped a first 4 in the previous race at $343, and a trifecta prior to that at $144, and that previous trifecta as well was worth about $100. So he's going well. In race 6, he's gone 5, 8, 1 and 2. He's with the yellow dog. Now, before we get your special guest up, Steve, on the line in just a moment, George, you're going to have a little look at the Laurels.
Yeah, and we'll talk about Steve, who will have the favourite in the Laurels, so we'll get him up shortly, obviously. But I'll just go through this box draw for what we've seen last night from the Laurels. Marrakesh has drawn box 1 for Anthony Azzopardi. Then Daniel Pal has box 2 with Bun Storm, who was a very impressive victor as well. Sprightly Cyan in 3, Poor Ticker in 4, Miss Envy in 5, Rosa Marie in 6, Paul Lulu in 7, Reality Best in 8. And as I said in the Laurels final, Miss Envy coming up at around $1.90 becoming only the third female greyhound, John, to break 29 seconds at Sandown, joining Wow She's Fast and Dinah Paddy. So, fantastic effort from Miss Envy. Jumped straight to the front, was absolutely too good for them. As I said, Bunstorm was also an impressive heat winner as well. And I think we do have the trainer of Miss Envy on the line now. Steve, welcome to RSN. How are you?
How are you, George?
I'm very well, mate. Do you have to keep pinching yourself with this girl? I mean, her last couple of months have been unbelievable, but to become only the third female greyhound to break 29 seconds, it must be an absolute massive thrill.
Yeah, look, it was. We thought she'd get around the 29, but to do that is rare air, as they say. And I thought, well, She's Fast was the other one, but yeah, you've probably seen me corrected. There must be another one as well.
Yeah. Dinah Paddy, mate. Dinah Paddy went 20.
Dinah Paddy.
Dinah Paddy went 28.99. So you're not in bad company. You've got a back-to-back Phoenix winner and a greyhound who won an Australian Cup. So
we're doing
not
all
bad.
right, eh?
It's not bad, mate. I just want to go through her career a little bit with you. I seen her obviously win at Northam to represent WA in the National Sprint Championship, and with all due respect to the National Sprint races, I mean they're good races, but you still got greyhounds coming from all over. Probably seeing Angle Park for the first time, but to defeat a dog like Smooth Plain, was that, I mean, you probably always knew she had ability, but was that the first time you say, we can have a real crack with this girl at the highest level?
Look, it was a lot longer before that, George. I think it's well documented now that even before she started, she beat one of my race dogs, Runaway to Mars, who won about 170,000 by 2 or 3 lengths. And look, she come out and won a maiden at Cannington in 29.53, which is the fastest time ever for a maiden, I think. And the only 2 bitches that are quicker than her was Flake Manelli and Amplified, who are both very smart dogs and ran very similar times. So, yeah, then I've just through a lot of bad boxes and learning to race. And I mean, look, and I don't think she's missed a place since her first start. So she's been ultra consistent and won in 4 states. But yeah, look, we always knew she had a lot of ability. We've had a couple of little setbacks along the way as well, which sort of we haven't really said much about. But just that continuity of racing, and they had to get used to travelling, and the trips we had to Adelaide really knocked them about a bit. So which is a lot harder for us over here, travelling the 4 hours than it is, or 5 hours in some cases. And yeah, if you get stuck in the crates and that, it's a long time for them, and it does take a bit out of them.
I asked that question, Steve, because as you know yourself, there's sometimes a difference between just having a fast dog and one that compete at the highest level. So with that in mind, you must have been wrapped with the way she handled herself as soon as she come to Sandown. I mean, Jason and I discussed it, that she just did the right things from awkward draws as well, and she just looked pretty special from that point.
Yeah, look, she handles herself really well. She doesn't crash or run wide or whatever. She's one of those dogs that seems to find herself in a good position all the time, and it looks like on next Thursday she's going to have to do that with a dog that wants the car park drawn next to her on the inside, so it's going to make it interesting early. So, but look, she just, one of those dogs, you watch her so many times, you think, oh, she's going to be in trouble here, and she just finds her way through or takes a little right step to get around them, and she's an absolute star.
Win, lose or draw next Thursday in the Laurels. Obviously, it's gone up from 50,000 to 75,000, so the prize money is pretty good here. Have you mapped out a rough plan of where to go? Is coming back to Melbourne in February something that's on the cards? Is Queensland on the cards? Or are you mindful of the fact that she's had a fairly nice campaign? Is that something in the back of your mind?
Yeah, look, I mean, we're sort of, we're just last stages of the Phoenix, so, I mean, we're just wondering whether we'll get a call there. We've had a couple of talks with a couple of people, and we'll see what happens there. But if that doesn't eventuate, we'll probably head up to Queensland for the Futurity. She's still eligible for that, so that'll be a last age-restricted race, and then we'll just map out a program. Like, I mean, between me and the dog, we've hardly been home for the last probably 4 or 5 months, and we've got a big team here as well. So, I mean, I've been blessed with Cal and Jackie and Bradley back in Melbourne to be able to leave them there, as it's Cal's been my mentor all the time and trains the same way, so that's great. Whereas normally I've had to sort of travel with the dogs and you're backwards and forwards a few times, and it's takes it out of everyone, but the dogs generally stay there. But we'll sit down after, like around the Christmas period, and see where we go from there. But I'd say she's probably going to be doing a lot more travelling during her career. She'll probably have more starts in the state than she will in Perth, to be truthful. So,
Well, Steve, we seen another very, very good female chaser called Lakeview Emily run 29.09 last night. Just in your honest opinion, do you think you've got the fastest female in Australia?
Oh, well, look, now for sure. Look, I mean, I don't really follow the dogs closely over there, and they told me that Lakeview is probably one of the better bitches in Australia. Well, she's obviously raced against her and beat her in the Melbourne Cup heat, and then obviously they both had a clear run last night, and she's gone nearly 2 lengths quicker. So, look, I mean, the sky's the limit for her, and you don't like to judge them, but I mean, it's a good talking point for everyone, and Lakeview Emily's obviously a great bitch in her own right, and I think she's got 6 or 7 months on age on her too. So. She probably does have a little bit of improvement in a Miss Envy, but look, I mean, as long as they stay sound and she can do her own talking.
Well, Steve, best of luck next Thursday. I mean, her Melbourne Cup run was absolutely fantastic, and if she is able to take out the laurels, I think we all know that the sky's the limit, and who knows, maybe a visit to the Meadows on December 21. Good luck going forward with her, not just for next Thursday night, mate, but the rest of her career.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Steve Shinners there, John, the trainer of Miss Envy, who, as I mentioned, became only the third female greyhound to break the 29-second barrier at Sandown Park. And the other two were Wow She's Fast, who won 2 Phoenixes and $2 million, and Dinah Paddy, who won an Australian Cup and who was an absolute star as well. So she's in rarefied air. She's drawn box 5 with a greyhound in box 6, Rosa Marie, who's got a ton of early speed, which could cause some troubles. I think Bunstorm is probably the value there at $4.60, but the way Miss Envy's going at the moment, it'll be a brave man to tip against her.
As Steve said, you got to keep the reality check on, but gee, it must be exciting when you see that time and that clock says 29, you think, oh, what have we got here?
Well, that's why I wanted to be a bit cheeky and ask him whether he thought he had the fastest female in Australia, and he didn't hold back, which was fantastic because, and look, the way she's going at the moment, it's hard to disagree. As we mentioned before the break or before the Healesville race, there's only one slot holder who hasn't picked for the Phoenix, John. So that is Total Container Solutions. Part of that team are the Britton family, Jeff, Rob, and Linda, I believe.
Keeping their powder dry.
Well, I remember speaking to Jeff months and months ago, and he said the ideal thing is that the dog would come from in-house, from one of their kennels. But do they third party it and go for a Miss Envy? Is she too hard to overlook, considering how quick she's gone? That's going to be an interesting little choice. She's probably going to have not much time to prepare to race in the Phoenix, but the way she's going at the moment, she's
When's the deadline, George?
It's a week before.
Okay.
A week before the box draw. Actually, a little bit, probably about 8 or 9 days before. I think the box draw is the Sunday before.
Right.
And then if there happens to be something that happens untoward, John, there's 2 reserves that nominate.
Step up, yeah.
And, you want to be going in with the dog you pick, but, you do get a reserve if something does happen in the week in the lead up to the Phoenix.
Yeah, well, it'd be very rare that the first 8 don't go around because of what's at stake, isn't it?
It is. It has happened.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah, it has happened. But you're right. I mean, we hope that all of them get around safely and do their trialling safe. Now, there's a lot to get through, John.
If you'd like to send George a question, 0416 90 50 52. Go, George.
Hobart 1,000 heats were last night, okay? This is one of the oldest Group 1s in Australia. I'll just go through some of these heat winners. First heat taken out by Inconspicuous for Anthony Azzopardi. The second heat, the local for Michael Sheriff, Ducati Roy at 25.71 was a good run. Then we had Aston Smoky again, another local for Deb Cannon, taking it out in 25.73. Back to the Victorians, and Anthony Azzopardi gets his double with Hotel Whiskey 1, the fastest of the heat winners. Was a very, very good run. His first sectional was outstanding, Hotel Whiskey 1. The last couple of heats taken out by Trefusis and also Serial Sticker, and then the last heat taken out by Flying Zulu. So that box draw, John, will be done tomorrow, which is always the case with the Hobart 1,000. They do it over the weekend at a function. So we'll get a better guide, and Jason and I will talk about it next Wednesday for the big Hobart 1,000, which will be next Thursday night. So that's the Hobart 1000. We mentioned the Laurels Heats as well, as I said, with Miss Envy.
What status is the Laurels? Group
2.
Group 2, yeah.
But it's gone from 50,000 to the winner to 75,000 to the winner. And I reckon that prize money bump made sure that Steve Shinner stayed here for the Laurels. I think, I'm not saying he would have gone home for 50,000, but 75,000 is a little bit better.
Yep.
There's some really big races coming up, as he spoke about in Queensland in January. But also we're back to the Meadows for the Australian Cup Carnival in February. So, as he said, he's probably not going to be sleeping in his bed too often,
No.
Steve, when you've got a female as good as that. So, really looking forward to that. As I said, the box draw for the Hobart 1000 will be done over the weekend. We'll have some fixed odds and some selections after that box draw. Good to see a nice mix of some local greyhounds and some Victorian greyhounds qualify for that final. We're just about to get to Healesville here.
Yep.
And when I come back, we will talk about the Silver Chief heats and give our best bets at the Meadows. So that's what we'll come up with.
When's the Silver Chief?
The Silver Chief heats are on Saturday.
Yep.
There are 6 heats, and the winners and the 2 fastest seconds will go through to the final. Just quickly, Sandown last night, Flamin' Wheels won the first race. He went 4.97 early. We have had Brad Greeno on this show. He's got Epitomise in a heat of the Silver Chief as well. His greyhounds and Brad Greeno could star in the next episode of Top Gear for their acceleration. He has some absolute flyers. Flamin' Wheels yesterday, as I said.
Oh, that was a joke.
That was a joke.
I
Yes, it was a joke.
I thought they were going to have a guest. Keep going.
Well, they might. They might. Those greyhounds are that
a-
fast. They went 4.97 early, Flamin' Wheels, gave nothing else a chance. And thank God he was part of this obscure multi that Jason wants me to come up with every week. So I had Flamin' Wheels into the Green Bay Packers,
Yes.
who are starting, I think they've just started. Actually, they're 7 minutes in. So go Green Bay at plus 3.5. And the Australian cricket team starts today. Are you going to watch that?
Second test?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'll be giving scores all through the afternoon for our cricket fans who are having a punt. I'll be updating the scores.
I think we're going to bounce back. I think so.
So do I.
We'll see how we go. But so I just wanted to mention Brad Greeno, great young trainer, obviously from the Greeno family. He's got a really, really good team of dogs in. He had Mila Minute, who ran second in the Hobart 1000 yesterday as well. So he's got a good team of dogs with some nice country cups coming up in Victoria in the new year.
Rightio, George. It's the second leg of the quaddie at the Healesville Greyhounds, and Slippery Shark for Michael Franklin is the favourite out of the yellow at $2.40. But there's been good support, George, for number 8 Rapid Fire Forest out on the pink wing at $2.60. So they're almost equal favourites. Here's James Vandermart.
For her to improve, and Archer 2 was a good winner last time. So be it a stronger race today, but gets the 8 to the inside at 4.80, and the kennel are in good form. So they're moving in. Race number 6, Slippery Shark, the favourite in box number 5. He was unlucky in the race won by Paul Yasami last week. He can be a little bit hit or miss at the jump, but if he can get a clean getaway from 5, he should be competitive. They're set to run. All in now. And they're racing, and Slippery Shark, it began pretty well from the middle. Braemar Cora did get the start right today. Will lead Slippery Shark, and out fast Rapid Fire Forest on their tail. They're followed by Redemption Rock, and then Firewire, My Girl Kelly, back at the end, Redshift Romeo, and last of all, My Girl Kelly. It's Braemar Cora just burning along in the lead. They're not going to get near her. She's put it all together up the straight today. Braemar Cora smashed them by 4 to Rapid Fire Forest. Third in, Slippery Shark ahead of Redemption Rock, and then Redshift Romeo. Back at the end, Firewire, My Girl Kelly, and the other one a fair way back, Archer 2, and the time 19:40. Well, she was probably threatening to always do something like that. She just hadn't been able to get the clean air to do so, and today with a fast getaway, she produced those circle-like sections to lead, and after going 2 or 3 lengths in front, she just extended and was not for catching. Slippery Shark had his chance. He got to second early, but he couldn't match, and Braemar Cora has been able to stride away, and she was a different dog on the lure. Number 4 for Yvonne Cassidy beats the 8 Rapid Fire Forest. Just loved it out in box number 8. Had some nice clean air. Runs the second placing, and Slippery Shark up for third for Michael Franklin. Gave away a bit of a head start, probably 2 or 3 lengths off the winner, but made no impression. 5, 8, 5, 3, the interim numbers. 5 third, the 3 is fourth. Numbers 4, 8, 5 and 3. Just awaiting some more after race number 6 to Braemar Cora.
Nicely done, James. Thank you. And number 4, Braemar Cora. has just injected some value to the Healesville Quaddie today at $20.30 and $4.40. Beats 8 Rapid 5 Forest $1.50. 5 Slippery Shark, the favourite, third $1.04, and 3 Redemption Rock. The Quinella $14. The Exacta $39. Trifecta $121. And the first four, $408, 4853. Running double, 5 and 4. That's the Quaddie League so far. As a running double, that's paid $68. And in race 6, James has gone race 6, number 6, the Green Dog, 6, 4, 8 and 7. George is going to have a look at the Meadows, so have your pens ready for some selections. But first of all, just back to the Silver Chief.
Silver Chief heats tomorrow at the Meadows. We've got 6 really, really nice heats. Of course, this is for the male greyhounds, 2.5 years and younger. Final heats on Saturday, final next Saturday night. I'll go through these quickly. Favourite in the first heat, Poor Vortex. Unbelievable form. He's won 4 in a row. Took out the Wagga Cup. Came back to Melbourne. Defeated Rosa Marie, who's in the Laurels final. Then beat Zipping Hopkins. Really nice form. Racing impressively. Going to be hard to beat. In the second heat, Giacomo's the favourite in what is an open heat. There are 6 of the 7 greyhounds under double figures there. John Raven Peter, another one in contention, and Aston Lord for the second heat. The third heat, Field Day, probably the fastest greyhound in this series. His last couple of runs, John, have been unbelievable. He ran second behind Lakeview Emily, running 29.64 at the Meadows. Races well here. There's no surprise that he's $1.30, and he's probably the pre-post favourite to win the whole Silver Chief. Iconic Jet from WA. WA produced a couple of good greyhounds at the moment. $1.55 favourite on the back of a very, very fast trial at the Meadows in the lead up to this, so looks hard to beat in the fourth heat. The second last heat, Deadly Avenger is the favourite, but again, there's a couple of good greyhounds in this, including Poor Utility, City Limit, Vista Yttrium for Team Daly. And in the last heat, Epitomise, we just spoke about Brad Greeno and his very, very fast greyhounds, especially out of a box, has drawn box 5. Of course, made that Melbourne Cup final, finished 7th, had no luck on the first corner, looking to redeem himself from box 5. He'll start as an odds-on favourite there. So as I said, the winners and the 2 fastest seconds, John, will go through to the Silver Chief final on Saturday week. Now, for some selections,
yes,
for those willing to have a play. The first one's going to be short, but just throw him in your multis because he should just be winning. Race 2, number 1, Tim Zoo, drawn perfectly. We spoke about his 600-metre win last week, John, which was outstanding. Back to the 525. He's got a terrific record here. Obviously, he's won the Australian Cup at this track. He's got a greyhound in box 2, Grand Tourer, who does like to use a little bit of the track. So Tim Zoo should have no excuses. He's racing with his tail up now. He'll be incredibly hard to beat. Now, for a little bit more value, we're hoping. Race 10, number 4, Shake It Off. Just looks the class runner in this race over 600 metres. I know Gary Stunnon is a lot of people's favourites of box 1. He's one of mine too. He's a terrific greyhound, but I think Shake It Off is in better form. Her win 2 starts ago, John, in 34.43 at the Meadows was absolutely outstanding. More importantly, she went very quick early. I think she can get the early ascendancy and be hard to beat. And then, if you're up late enough, which I know you will be, John, race 12, number 1, Michaelis. Great record here at the Meadows, drawn well, good win 2 starts ago, got enough early speed to hold a very forward position, and he should be hard to beat. So just a recap of those numbers: race 2, number 1, race 10, number 4, race 12, number 1 at the Meadows tomorrow night.
Shake It Off, very swift greyhound.
Very good from you. Very good from you. I got that, Jeff.
I just jotted it down.
You're not a Swiftie, are you?
No.
Please tell me you're not. Thank God.
No.
Oh, there's better music than that around. Sure.
Oh, hey, come on. You just lost most of the audience.
I don't think I have.
Everybody in the world loves it. I just don't I don't know much about her. That's all. It's that's just ignorance because I'm getting older. That's all.
I just was sick of watching NFL and she's dating one of the NFL players. Obviously.
I'm Doobie Brothers and Fleetwood Mac and
well, there's nothing
Eagles,
wrong with that.
Bruce Springsteen,
or Pearl Jam and Chili Peppers, mate. So we're
Brian
probably
Ferry,
getting a little
Rolling
bit old.
Stones.
And now you're talking.
Beach Boys.
What's on for the weekend, mate?
I'm actually having a rare Saturday off tomorrow. Cozzie's going to do the races tomorrow, but I'm here for the afternoon.
Now, Cozzie's got a first starter in on Monday. I hope he tips it to you, which I'm involved with.
Okay, what's it called?
Well, its mum's called Mapunga Molly, so they've named it Ringwald. Obviously, Molly Ringwald,
yes,
the actor
yes. Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So if he doesn't tip it to you, I would be backing it. Because he gets a little bit shifty like that, Cozzy. I hope he's listening.
Good on you, George. Great show without Jason Adams. Not that I'm just saying you've done a
We
great...
miss him.
You've done a great job without him. Not that it was an improvement that he wasn't here. G'day,
No.
Patch.
Are we allowed to say that? No.
No, of course not. Now, I'm going to... Georgie, we'll see you next Wednesday.
No worries. Talk soon, mate.
Good on you. George Farrugia there. And for Greyhound Racing Victoria, that has been another exciting episode of the Grey Areas. It's 12:31. Andrew Bensley is about to get the Friday Feast underway. But first of all, a preview of the races at Mornington. And here is your caller, Travis Noonan.
Yes, John, g'day to everyone across the nation listening to the broadcast from today's races at Mornington. It's a terrific day out here on the peninsula. Conditions up near 28 degrees, and walking in, there's a big crowd that's